Today's tutorial is going to cover the Janiero, which is a trick that was developed by the beautiful and talented Marion Cramp. We're going to go over the Janiero as a transition from a brass monkey. There are other entries like the cross ankle release, but they do tend to take more flexibility to get into the right position. So if you haven't seen a brass monkey into Janiero, this is what it looks like. Success in a Janiero depends on three critical factors. Let's go over them one by one. So one common mistake is to set your top arm too high. Instead, you want to set your top arm very low with the bottom arm straight. This enables the bicep of the top arm to create a horizontal shelf, which sticks your elbow out further and gives you a bigger target to rest your hip on. The other tricky bit is to make sure not to use that top arm to carry any of your body weight until your hip actually touches it. You want to think about doing a one-handed handstand with all your weight in your bottom hand. Otherwise, if you use your top arm for grip, as you slide your hips down, you'll lose your shelf. So in a Janiero, you start with your butt and your upper body on the same side of the pole, and then you end with your butt and your upper body on opposite sides of the pole. So part of the problem is trying to get your hips onto your shelf and get the butt out of the way. So let's go back to this trick, the bow and arrow. Here, you use the front of your foot and shin to hold you on the pole while you lean your hips forward and away. You want to do the same thing when you're going into your Janiero. So let's look at that entry from a brass monkey one more time. Here, I'm going to bring my outside leg back and behind the pole and then use that shin so that I can pull my hips forward. You see how I've got a little space between my butt and the pole? That's all I need. The final crucial element to doing a Janiero is to not feel like you're dying. If you've ever tried doing the Janiero and felt like your insides were being relocated, then probably the thing that you were forgetting to do was to release the bottom arm and turn your outside shoulder and hip into the pole. Essentially, at the end of the trick, you want to have your back against the pole so that it's not actually a back flexibility trick to hold, it's a balance trick. Once I've gotten my hip onto my elbow shelf and I've released my back foot, I'm going to put a slight bend in my bottom arm so that I can push the pole away from my chest and get a little bit of a head start to turn my chest and my hips. I want to take my bottom arm off as soon as possible. And then from there, it's really just the strength of your back muscles to hold you in position. Thanks for watching and good luck.